I'm a 51-year-old guy from Canada who's been practicing Kung Fu for almost 30 years, and I've just arrived in China to do some intensive Kung Fu training in the famous Wudang Mountains. I'm not sure if I'm ready for this, but I'm going to give it my best shot. You guys have the right idea, don't you? No training in the hot sun.
Hello. Hi.
It looks like we're getting filmed for some kind of TV show. I think they have a drone. They're going to fly a drone above us. Today I wanted to talk about injuries. Those of you that know me know that I'm not a young man. I'm not really an old guy yet, but I'm not young. And those of you just watching this vlog that don't know me, you can probably tell too that yeah, I'm not a young guy. I'm balding, I'm gray, and stuff like that. So I am over 50. I mentioned in my intro I'm 51, and I've been doing Kung Fu and Tai Chi and that kind of thing for just about 30 years, maybe a little over. So like anybody who's a little bit older, I've got some aches and pains, and they're getting to be more and more as time goes on. So my shoulders, my knees, but lucky my back doesn't really bother me, my neck doesn't really hurt. So with doing martial arts at any age, but especially an older age, you're gonna have some pain. You'll get bumps and bruises from doing it, especially if you're practicing with other people or even with weapons. You'll hit yourself, you'll cut yourself. It's going to happen. But I deal with some sort of long-standing injuries too, and I kind of have to work around it. And I think a lot of you will have issues from your past as well that I just want to tell you, you can definitely work around. My knees in particular are in really bad shape. Both of my knees, I messed up the ACL, the anterior cruciate ligament, when I was in my teens. The first knee, this one here, I messed that up riding BMX bikes on ramps. You know, it's sort of kind of an extreme sport. This is in late 70s, early 80s, I guess. And in the beginnings of that kind of extreme sport. So I messed up my knees jumping off ramps and half pipes and quarter pipes and things like that. So I ended up having to have surgery, in which they replaced the ACL in my knee with a one made of Gore-Tex, I believe. And a couple of years later, 1 or 2 years later actually, I broke the ACL in my left knee too, unfortunately. That one wasn't as cool sounding. I was actually climbing a tree to impress a girl, and the tree broke and I fell down and broke the ACL. So this one they also replaced with an artificial ligament. And I think this one was Gore-Tex from what they said. So I've got the artificial ligaments in here. I've got screws and pins and staples and stuff like that in there to sort of manage it all. And then years later, I realized I'd actually broken both replacements in here too. So I've had this knee re-operated on, and they actually took a tendon from my hamstring on the left side, I think, and wove it in here and turned it into a ligament. This one I've been just kind of living with. It feels loose and stuff like that, but I try to manage it as best as I can. Now, because of the injury and the surgeries and my age, I've developed arthritis in both these knees, and from what the exams say, it's some kind of like moderate, you know, mid to moderate kind of arthritis. So it can get pretty painful going up and down stairs. You know, running a marathon is definitely out for me. If I run for too long, I can barely walk in the next few days. So I try to take it easy when I'm doing Kung Fu as far as jumping and stuff like that goes. I can just do some. But I just gotta kind of take it easy and not really pound it. So that's one of my ways of working around it, but I still keep going. And my stances too, you know, my knees feel painful, they feel unstable, so my stances aren't as low as they really should be for certain kinds of Kung Fu. And especially this Kung Fu here in Wudang, they really want super low stances and they want you to be super flexible. I'm going to keep working on my flexibility, but low stances, it's just out for me. But it doesn't mean you have to stop. So if you've got knee problems, leg problems, ankle problems, feet problems, you can kind of work around it. You can moderate things and you know, just keep practicing, training, and learning. I've had problems with my shoulders too the past few years. I've developed kind of rotator cuff injuries, and I think it's from working on computers for many years. So I've been, I was worried I would have to have surgery, but I've had a really great sports doctor and physio team, and my physiotherapist, before I came here, actually went to him for a number of sessions. Did a lot of exercises work, a lot of acupuncture, things like that on my shoulders and my knees to kind of get ready to come here to Wudang and kind of beat my body up for a month. And you know, the exercises that we do here and the things that I've learned in the training, I got to tell you, I think it's pretty much cured my shoulders. My shoulders feel great, and I've really started thinking differently about how I use my legs and my knees and stuff like that. And they feel better than they have in a long time too. The first few weeks here, I was in a lot of pain, but this last week, you know, the pain level in my knees has gone way down. I've got some other issues too, sliced tendons in my hands, so my grip on the left hand side isn't the greatest. But I worked through that actually with my Tai Chi teacher years ago when that happened. And now I can hold 2 swords no problem. I can use a staff, spear, that kind of thing. So regardless, you know, at any age, but even at an older age, you can still keep going. And I noticed there's some older people here. There's a lady here actually in her 70s, and apparently she's been here for 3 years, and she can do full-on splits now. They said that she couldn't when she first came here. I did splits kind of up until my 50th birthday, and they've been kind of reducing slightly. So that's one thing I want to try to really get back is my flexibility for splits. But in general, I'm fairly flexible. Except for when I came here to Wudang, I realized how flexible the people here are, and you've seen some of the stretching videos. So I got to work on my hip flexibility and back and sort of pelvis region, and I think actually it might really help my knees as well. So the moral of the story is you don't have to stop. You don't have to stop if you're a little bit hurt, and you don't have to stop if you got some historical injuries. You can work around it. I've also been working through a hamstring injury that I picked up here. Actually, a few years ago with Master Pan, I tore my hamstring tendon fairly badly, actually doing the splits when I wasn't really warmed up enough for it. And then here, I was kind of pushing myself a little bit too hard. I wasn't taking Master Yuan's advice to really relax as I'm doing things. You can train hard, but relax. So I've strained my left hamstring this time. It feels like the tendon. It felt a lot like the first injury, but just not quite as severe. So I'm all the way here in China, and I didn't want to waste my time here. So I took one day where I didn't do the basic training. I just worked on forms. And then I figured I really got to get back into it, make the use of my time here. If I'm skipping out of anything, I'm only cheating myself, not the school, or I'm not letting the teachers down, I'm letting myself down. So I got back into the basic training and just kind of worked around that leg, only kicking with my right leg. And when I'm doing movements with my left leg, I'm just trying to test it out first and take it a little bit easy. But it's been working out, and it's getting me, you know, right to the end here. I'm close to the end of my time, and I've been able to train all the way through and make the most of it.
让你们看一下棍子啊！棍子，来，大家一起，
Yeah.
棍子，棍子。